Yo, I'm Kia. I didn't think an introduction was necessary, but that's the least I could do. I really just come here to basically journal, or let me say, I use these short videos to share my thoughts in a form of journaling. And with that being said, this is one of my fleet of thoughts from a creative perspective. I think art, speak art, see art, and as we all know, art comes in many different forms. Mine personally happen to be music, fashion, painting, slash drawing, slash sculptures. And it doesn't obviously end there. So really, it could be from me writing the most beautiful, profound rhymes, but never really recording them on beat because maybe I'm still not confident enough to share my work. To me, dressed in different styles and just my overall obsession on clothing or getting a cause artwork tattooed on myself, I'm always drawn to new concepts and still trying to leave none of the old ones behind. But I always convince myself I have enough time to try everything. I've always wanted to try because I actually do. But this is the new thing I'm trying to do where I'm just trying to basically journal my thoughts, but in a form of documenting everything. So yeah, if maybe it's obviously gonna have a bunch of episodes of me just rambling and thinking of ideas and concepts and stuff. So if obviously you interested in any of what I have to say, then this is something we can do together. I really just want to be able to do this whenever, however I want, really. I just feel like right now I'm experiencing a lot of things and having new ideas, coming up with new ideas, meeting new people, losing people too. So, and that's the one that has the most because it's like, oh man, now I have to kind of make sacrifices that I don't even know if they're fitting for my life because it's like I'm losing someone that I know or people that I know over people that I'm now willing to learn, which is obviously it shouldn't be as scary when I say it. If anything, it should be something I should be looking forward to. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic, I don't know, bro. I don't, like I said, I don't want to be too formal about it, but I think I'm just right now I'm at a point in my life where I've evolved from where I was. I've evolved a lot. Now I'm actually able to do things I was scared of doing or I was not confident enough on. And obviously, which is this being one of them, me being able to sit in front of a camera and just talking with no one else around. For me right now, the one thing I have to conquer, because I feel like I'm able to conquer everything, right? Like there's nothing, one of my friends actually told me something. They were like, bro, there's nothing that I personally can't do. Like before I say I have nothing to do, there'll be a lot. He was basically trying to say he can be anything he wants to or put his mind to. Like if he wanted to do music today, he could just do music. I've always just been so afraid because of judgments. I was never really a big fan of sharing, especially if I'm gonna be vulnerable, show all my flaws on this piece of art, or then that's when it becomes tricky because it's like I'm opening my heart to people that just might take all these things that I'm talking about and use them against me, in the near future or something. So I think that's also one of the reasons why I'm afraid of just opening up and being vulnerable in that aspect. So I'm kind of learning, like I said. I think maybe growth kind of molded me into this. I know for a fact the 18 or even 21-year-old version of me wasn't gonna, wouldn't have the heart to do this, or let me say the confidence, because this is, if anything, this is confidence more than anything. I've seen what the camera does to people. I've seen how we can go from not having cameras around to having cameras around, and I could see the difference in them, or the change in them, let me say that. So I already know what the camera does, you know. So I feel like this whole thing is just me being confident enough to do it. Yeah, like I said, so it's an age thing for me. I feel like me just also growing into, and I'm realizing that, okay, you know what, bro? First off, you are falling behind. I mean, besides the pressure thing, I mean, obviously pressure is always gonna be there, right? Like, pressure is always gonna be a good thing for everyone. I feel like pressure is always gonna be there. Pressure is necessary. Should be there. You know, doesn't matter where you feel like you are mentally, but I just feel like pressure is necessary, because pressure is what makes the changes, I feel. But aside from pressure, really, it's just more so like realizing that I'm too stuck in this thing of giving a fuck about people too much, that I end up losing concepts and ideas, and just creatively falling behind. You know what, the other day I was having a conversation with my homegirl, and she was like to me, has you actually kept on doing the music thing, or has you actually just pursued your music career consistently? Or let me just say, because last time I was in studios was like over like 2-3 years ago, and even at that, I wasn't there for my own reasons. She was like, had you actually stay consistent with this, you would have had everything that you've wanted by now. And I just feel like, okay, cool, then I did a lot of things, or a lot of things happened that kind of stood in the way of me and having to be, one with my dreams and goals, which obviously one of them being self-conscious and just not knowing if I should do this or I shouldn't do this. And a few more other ways, really, was just me also coming across, I'd like to believe, bad crowds or bad people that I thought maybe were the best. Yeah, so they have a hand in the delay, you know, um, which is obviously being introduced to stuff like drugs, and a crazy lifestyle that I just didn't know that it was gonna affect me in so many ways. Right now, my biggest goal is to drop a few, records that I've been slightly kind of also working on. Well, writing, obviously, like I said, like I got to write a few things, or a few records that I feel like, it was just me talking about my experiences, my faults, and just maybe it's this the next person could relate to, you know. And even at that, it's just for my own satisfaction. Like, it's so nice to also hear music that you've always wanted to hear, or let me say, it's always nice to create music that you've always wanted to hear. So for me, really, it's pretty much that. I have all these ideas and I just have everything, but it's so pointless just hogging onto these ideas and concepts if I'm not going to release or just share with the next with everyone else. I feel like it's a tricky thing, because you hear people tell you that you're good at something. You just hear everyone tell you about how you good at something that you feel like you lack confidence in. You hear people tell you that you should do it more often, and really you never know if the compliments, or even all these things that they're saying to you are ever like legit. I think that's also another thing, is that I'm too much of an overthinker, that I'll spend time also wondering if what these people are saying is true or not. I just want to now shut the whole world out and create, because I feel like the world's influence is causing a little bit of a delay on my progress. So I think right now I'm just at a point where I don't care about who has to say what, you know. I'm just gonna create as much work as possible and just release, really. It's just, it's a stream of consciousness, like how Kanye would say it. I'm doing this for, well, content purposes too, but if anything, just me journaling and speaking my mind, because I feel like this is the only way I'll get people to hear me out, or also hear what I have to say. Because oftentimes in real life conversations with people, like, people don't really take in everything you say, or I feel like, it's like selective hearing, that they have going on. So, and you never know which part they're taking with them that you've shared with them. You just hope that it's the best parts, or like the most profound ones, ones that they can learn from. So I never really like share anything anymore with people, anything deep. I pretty much rather just do it here, or like write about it in a form of like rhymes, like I said, lyrics, and just get on beat, express, just let all my feelings spill. But I'm confident enough in the fact that, I see it, it's in my visions, so I'm confident enough that everything else will work out. It's one thing when you just feel it by yourself, but everything around, when everything around you just also, let you know by like people, or just signs, then it's just like a whole different thing. Right now, one of the signs, actually, crazy enough, right now I'm actually supposed to get a call from a job I applied for, but guess what happened? I lost my SIM card. I know this is even crazy, but it's things like that that'll make me like, okay, what the fuck, bro? I stay in a country where like it's hard to get a job, so to know that you are going to get the call, and then next thing you know, you lose your SIM card, or you lose your form of them having to contact you. Like, obviously they could just email. I hope they email. Like, what am I getting from the universe, bro? Like, but yeah, like I said, this is just one of the episodes of me trying to like share how I feel. So yeah, till next time, I guess. Well, till next episode.